6 o'clock.
Do what? Kill us one second.
Call to order the regular meeting of the Dale City City Council for December 19th, 2022. Alyssa, would you call the roll, please?
Councilman Candy.
Here.
Councilwoman Green.
Here.
Councilwoman Finn.
Here.
Councilman Dean.
Here.
Mayor Easton.
Mayor is here. Moving on to number 3, I see Vera Beckman is in the audience not here. May we impose on you? I know this is kind of throwing you under the bus. Would you open us with a prayer, please?
Let us pray. Precious Father, we thank you for this day that you've given us. Lord, we thank you for the city of Dale City, and I pray, Lord, that you will help it as it goes every day forward. And Lord, we pray for each of these around us, these desks today, Lord, that they will seek wisdom from you, and Lord, that you will help them make the right decisions so that our city can go and be what it needs to be. Lord, we thank you for each one here, and Lord, we thank you that we can come and be free in our telling and talking. And Lord, I pray that you'll be with all of our protectors, our policemen, our firemen, and all the military men and women all over the world. Lord, we just give you praise tonight for this season of Christmas. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to ask my friend Mr. Mockery if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ed, would you lead us, please?
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we ask you to come into this place and be with everybody that's ill, that can't be anywhere. We pray for this council, that they'll make good decisions in this life of Dale City. And I pray that you'll give us where we're fed in our daily lives, and we give you all the praise. We ask these things in Christ's name.
Amen. Thank you, Ed.
Oh.
It's all right. I'll do it. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Everybody can call the prayers they can get.
That's exactly right. All the prayers we can get. Ed, thank you for that. Ed is a terrific painter. If you guys don't know, I've got a couple of his paintings hanging in my house. Ed, you're all right.
Thank you.
Let's see here. We come to the portion of public and council input. If there's anybody that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item, please approach the podium and spell your name for the clerk. Seeing none. Councilman Gandy.
Well, I wish everyone happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. It's gonna be a little bit cold, like really cold, so just make sure to make all your preparations. I know I'm way behind on that, so I'm sure everyone else is too. But happy holidays.
It's gonna be reindeer cold. Councilman Newman.
Yes, so thank you guys so much for picking up all that debris that was mounting up on the Sooner Road for all our constituents that are going up there and turning the bushes rather than our park people. The Christmas decorations look really good all around the city, makes it cheery. That's about all I got.
All right. Councilman Finch.
I just want to say we went to the grand opening of our Solid Goes. It was amazing. I'll have to try it. But also, Merry Christmas to all my friends. Love you guys.
All right. Councilman Dean.
Nothing but Merry Christmas.
All right. Well, I gotta say, all the decorations look great, and these are the cream of the crop right here. You guys that are getting these awards tonight, I appreciate your efforts. You make the city festive. The fire department, police department did an amazing job this year. City Hall looked pretty good.
Wow, thank you.
Don't let it go to your head. Community center had huge trees inside and out. That all, you really kind of set the tone for the city. So I appreciate what everybody has done on their decorations. Let's see, move on to city manager's report.
Nothing at this time, sir.
The city clerk's report.
We received our sales taxes for the month, and since this time last year, our net sales tax has decreased by $1,515.91. That's just 0.15%. The use tax has increased $2,533.26. The tobacco has decreased to $243.85, and the hotel motel has increased $450.76.
All right, very good. Ryan, I'm looking at this screen over here. Is that going out over the internet?
Yes, sir.
We are actually live on the internet. Very good. I like it. Item number 6, presentation holiday yard decorating contest. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve or deny holding a presentation by the beautification committee on the 2022 yard decorating contest. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve holding the presentation by the beautification committee on the 2022 holiday yard decorating contest.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Gandy. Aye. Mayor votes aye. The presentation is now open. Stacy, are you going to meet me at the podium?
While we're doing that, I just want to say thank you to the ladies of the beautification committee. They are always out there judging yards. They're always out there putting flowers in gardens, cleaning out gardens, trimming trees, tearing up crepe myrtles, whatever they can do. If anybody wants to volunteer for that committee, just give us a shout here at City Hall.
All right. We've got it all strategized out now. We know what we're doing. Moments of practice. We're going to start with Ward 1. Michael, why don't you come down here with us, Ward 1? I love this time of year. I don't even mind it getting dark early when we see all the holiday lights out. All right, Michael, this is Ward 1.
All right. Well, we went for the first one.
All right. Myra Davila, 4320 Sunbeam Circle. 4320 Sunbeam Circle. Not him? Okay. Melissa Gomez and Philadelphia Kitterin, 3505 Overland Drive. That's two for you.
That's it for you. Come on.
Joanne and Joseph Taylor, 3012 Simmons Drive. Are you here? All right.
All right.
I know Mike is especially happy to see you. He would have been a shutout.
Congratulations, good job.
Thanks for me.
Sure, show the sign and she's gonna take your picture. All right, thank you.
You're too young for that.
Ward 2, Pam, how's your knee feeling, Pam? Knee replacement. She just has one knee done, and when she runs, she goes in circles. Yeah, Pam's doing pretty good. On delivery and holiday. Very good. Ward 2. Tony? Now, who really did the work on this? Didn't you? Michelle and Tony Caruso, 3704 Dale Road. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Good picture. Here we go.
Smile.
All right. Michelle Rogers. Rachel. Rachel Rogers. I'm sorry. And Richard. Yes, sir. Okay. Good job. Good job. Get your flag. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Darlene Hickey and Steve Palmer, 2024 item A.
Darlene's in the letter.
Okay. I can get you a Cowboys jacket if you need one. Congratulations. Okay, Ward 3, Jackie. Lady Amber's winning this contest right now. 3 for 3. Doesn't get any better than that. We're not keeping score really. But you put one of these transfers. All right, Jackie. Helen, hi. Oh,
We already know each other.
yeah, that's you and Helen. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Ward 3, Daniel and Lourdes Erickson. All right. Oh, very good. Congratulations. Congratulations. You get your plaque in. She's gonna give you all. Whoops. Hey, let me-
She just needs one more arm.
Whoops. Make sure we got the right one. Holiday Yard? Oh, no, 4028 Dell Road.
That's not.
Let's find another.
That's not.
Dell Air. I'll bet it's that one. Let me help you. Can I help? 4845 Dell Air Drive. Does that one fit? Turn around, let's take your picture. Yeah. But her house is decorated and everything. Jeff and Sherry Kleckner, 4028 Dale Road. All right. Come over here. Do I have it? I see I tricked you. 4028 Dale Road. All right. We'll sign up and we'll get your picture. All right. Thanks for doing all that work. Susan and Randy Bingham, 4505 Southeast 37th Street. We'll get it delivered. We'll get it delivered.
Oh, I was gonna have three.
4505 Southeast 37. How do you do that?
Might check to make sure you got the right one.
No. Oh. No. What have you got? You not think you just have a sign? We'll fix it. Okay, Stacy says we'll fix it.
Okay.
You are excused, man, thank you. All right, let's move on to Ward 4. Give it to Stacy and she'll make sure it's delivered. Floyd Brown, good to see you, buddy. Yes, sir. Good to be here. Now, we gotta find, Mr. Mockley, 330. Oh, look at there, right on top. Yeah, how about that? Clean living. Ward 4 is Eddie Mockley. Did she not help at all in,
Oh, yeah, she did that thing, but
oh, well, it looks good. They're coming, they're coming.
They invited us in for coffee, but that didn't went through.
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you. Nathaniel McGuire, 4812 Judy Drive. All right, Nathaniel.
Good job.
All right. Everybody wonder who was that masked
I
man?
know, he should have
Yeah.
been up.
Now, Eduardo Gonzalez and Stephanie Galadiz, are you here? Stephanie and Eduardo?
They're right here.
Oh, okay. All right.
What do you do this?
All right. Now we're gonna move on to the business category. Is Middale Taco here, 4320 Southeast 15th Street? Anybody representing Middale Taco? We'll get to them. Dale City First Church of the Nazarene. Vera, is anybody here? Vera's church not only decorates, she hosts the breakfast for Shop with a Cup every year.
And a free gospel for
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. How about Willis Lawn Service, 4103 Thomas Drive? Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. He grew up in Delsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still growing up in Dale City.
Well, I can tell you a lot of stuff you don't want to hear too, bro. No, he got taught.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, thank you. Good job. Wait a minute, this has got to be the best friend. PJ Flowers. Yeah, you need Carmen. Carmen ought to be up here with you. Carmen ought to be up here with you.
He's taking a picture that took a cat, he was on the cat. All right. That concludes the holiday decorating. Now,
Mayor, should we reconsider doing
one agenda item at a time.
no, or down, that's.
So while the mayor gets up here, I want to also stand. Karina, can you stand up? She was the one that actually designed all the billboards, signs, and she does all the extra work for the beautification committee. Just want to say thank you.
All right, you guys all did a great job, and I appreciate the effort that you put into it. Thank you for what you've done for the city. It really adds to the Christmas spirit. Give yourselves a hand. All right, moving on. Item number 7 is a consent docket, discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the following items by unanimous consent with one motion. Item A is budget amendment. Approved budget amendment for fiscal year 2022-2023 as shown in Exhibit A to the council agenda. Item B is minutes of the regular meeting of the council. Approved minutes of the regular meeting of the council of December 5th, 2022. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve items A and B as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Mayor votes aye. Motion approved. We go on to item number 8. Nomination and appointment to the planning commission. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the mayor's nomination of Mike Streetman for planning commission Ward 2 position, said term not to exceed 2025. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the mayor's nomination of Mike Streetman for planning commission Ward 2 position. Said term not to exceed September 1st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Gandy. Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. Mike is here. Mike, would you meet me at the podium, please? You know, the new guy on the planning commission has mighty ready dinner, right?
Yeah.
They tell you that?
Yeah, they didn't tell me that.
No, well, next time. You can take the oath of office. We'll do that one first.
Okay.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Friedman,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation
other than the compensation
allowed by law.
allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
my duties as a member
my duties as a member
of the Dale City Planning Commission
of the Dale City Planning Commission
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
That's the first phase. Now we're going to do the second phase. This is the loyalty oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Streetman,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America
and the laws of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Oklahoma,
and the laws of the state of Oklahoma,
and that I will faithfully discharge,
and that I will faithfully discharge,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
during such time
during such time
as I am a member
as I am a member
of the Dale City Planning Commission.
of the Dale City Planning Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I left mine up there. Now we'll sign this. She'll notarize it. Sign it. Okay. All right. Now we get these notarized. I wasn't kidding about buying dinner, you know.
Oh, I mean, if I have to, it's.
There is some hazy, right? You know, Michelle is the chair.
There.
Yeah, yeah.
There.
But I know Tony too, so.
All right. Oh, yeah. Always I could write like that. And then finish it.
No. Hillary?
Oh. Am I still got my tennis?
Yeah, sure have.
Oh, you bought pellets from me?
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
it to her.
Yeah. Very good. No, still sitting in the garage.
Oh, really? Oh.
Still looks the time.
Shame on you.
All right. Mike, these are for you.
Okay.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
planning commission, and thank you for stepping up. We
Looking
appreciate
forward to working with you guys.
Very good. Thank you. Give him a hand. Michelle, I think that fills out the planning commission. We have a full approval there.
I think you're correct.
Very good. All right. Move on to item number 9, monthly update from the fire chief. Discussion, consideration, possible action approved, receiving a monthly update from the fire chief. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to receive a monthly update from the fire chief.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Aye. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Chief Brandon. What have you got for us tonight, Chief?
Well, good evening. Bring to you last month's stats, for November, we actually were down a little bit, so that was kind of good. Had no turkey fires, had no church fires during, Thanksgiving holidays, so we were real blessed with that. So we had, 320 calls for service, 229 of them were EMS and medical. We did have 5 fires, 2 of them were structure, 3 vehicle fires. We did have a fire on Doris, December 2nd, still going through the investigative process on that. But our fire loss for November was $8,200 on pre-incident value, a little over $300,000. So had a pretty good save there. Our call volume is still staying pretty steady. We were about 6% over this time last year. Kind of a little stat I just pulled up just to kind of see where we are as of yesterday. Yesterday, we hit 184 calls for service. That was our last year end of year total. So we hit last year's end of total yesterday. So it's kind of ironic that it's the exact same number, but difference of 13 days. So we will beat last year's numbers, which means our call for service is staying up there. Mutual aid, the mutual aid that we have received year to date is 29, and we have provided 41 mutual aid assistance. Our overlapping calls were still about 33% of our calls are overlapping. And our average response time is still under 5 minutes, so we're still staying pretty good with that. November, one of those little nuggets I always throw in there, our busiest day of the week and time. Last month for November was Wednesday and the 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. time range. Also kind of on operations side, kind of jump forward a little bit, but this week we're looking not forward to, but preparing for the cold snap that's going to be coming in. We're already doing weather briefings with National Weather Service. They are anticipating some possible minor power disruptions due to the wind gusts, not necessarily because of ice accumulation. If we do see any snow, it should be in the inch or so less is what they're anticipating, but it's going to be blowing. But the wind chills are going to be dangerous, and the wind gusts are looking about a 3 to 6 hour period of gusting to 50 miles per hour. So that's where we can see our power disruption. So we definitely, I know Brittany has already been putting out messaging on the city social media. We'll be starting that tomorrow, driving home the message as far as proper heating in your home, giving space distance for space heaters, making sure if you have alternative forms of heating that you're doing it properly. So we're going to be driving home that message beginning tomorrow. November, we spent a lot of time on training. Half of our department is finishing up their EMS, the required EMS CEUs. So that will be due end of March. So they have to renew their EMS license every 2 years. So we've got half the department that will be due. We were unofficially a drop-off site for toys for Magic 104. Magic 104 always says drop it off to the local metro area fire station. But we accept them and we'll deliver them. So we had a couple bundles to take to Magic 104, and they delivered those last week. On the EMS side of things, Patrick's still doing a great job for us. Their average overall response time is 7 minutes, 5 seconds, but on their priority one, what we hold their threshold to at 8 minutes, 59 seconds, their average response time is 5 minutes, 34 seconds. So on their priority one calls, they're definitely staying underneath that threshold. And we're still dry, we're still in the extreme drought category. And also on the emergency management side of things, we received Oakland County's emergency operations plan. We received that on behalf of the city. So if anybody has a few extra hours of their day and wants to read a big binder, the Oakland County emergency operations plan, I will let you have fun with it. Otherwise, I'll just hold on to it. That's available for your view. Other than that, that's what we've got.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Move on to item number 10, surplus equipment for the fire department. Discussion, consideration, possible action to declare or deny the 13 SCBA harnesses with regulators listed in Exhibit B to the council agenda and 29 SCBA masks as surplus to the city's needs.
Authorize final disposition of items as approved by acting city manager. These items have reached the end of life. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to declare the 13th SCBA harnesses as regulators listed in CB to the council agenda, and 29th SCBA masks as a surplus to the city's needs. Authorize final disposition of items as approved by the acting city manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Gandy. Aye. Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. And now we're up to item number 11, 2022 holiday decorating contest winner announcement. The chief didn't leave, did he? There he is. Discussion, consideration, possible action, approve or deny making an announcement of the 2022 holiday decorating contest winner and the presentation of the Christmas Cup trophy. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we announce the winner of the 2022 holiday decorating contest winner and present the Christmas Cup trophy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Aye. And the mayor votes aye. We will now make that presentation. Is Brittany still here? Why don't you just help me with this, Brittany? I'm gonna go get the trophy.
Safety.
I'm not to say a word. I appreciate what you guys do. I know that if you guys don't just sit around and play badminton all the time, like everybody thinks. I've got a grandson that's a firefighter in Midwest City. And you guys put your life in danger for us when there's fire. And I've got friends that are firemen, and I appreciate what you do. And everybody else should too.
If you keep saying that talking, we're gonna put you to work.
Well, I've always been a talker, they tell me.
That's what I hear. Okay. All right, here is the final tally, and we're just showing the top two. The fire department got 2,204 votes. The police department got 2,113 votes. Congratulations. Fire
I'm gonna let the guys that did the work, they're the elves, they're the ones that did all the work.
Now the police department has been keeping this dusted off for you guys for the last year. Now, we're gonna have to take this down the Midwest Trophy and get your name on there and be engraved with, what are we gonna put on? Oh, okay.
I just have half the third of the crew, but
Just get the FD in there. Okay,
just make,
all right.
got,
We can straighten that up for you there. All right.
our guys take pride in, this, like it was mentioned, this is not just their workplace, this is their firehouse, it's their home away from home. They take pride in, and a lot of tedious work, I know, and I do want to give hats off to City Hall staff, community center staff, our friends at the police department, everyone who decorated, the residents who decorate, it's been done.
It is fun. Why were they laughing when you said your friends at the police department?
Because we're all friends. Even though on memes, it doesn't look that way.
I understand.
Appreciate what they do.
Listen, you guys did a great job. I'm glad you won. And, don't tell the police department that. But anyway, congratulations to the Dale City Fire Department. Get a shot of that.
My Lord, that's so many things.
Is it on the end there?
Come on, everybody, smile.
All right.
Good job.
Okay. Let's take we hear that trophy, it's up for grabs next year.
That's right, we're already planning next year.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Michael, the fire department was your group, right?
Yes, it was.
Michael was the council person assigned to the fire department. I think he helped the police department.
It's two inches. That's on two for two.
I think,
They're like Blake Shaw.
how about a hand for Michael D? There you go. Just about every city building. Except City Hall. Did he help City Hall?
Yes, he did.
Oh, very good. Good job.
Michael and Lynette did an outstanding.
See the gingerbread guy?
Okay, move on to item number 12, ordinance impound of vehicles. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve ordinance number 1414. See exhibit C to the council agenda, amending an ordinance in the code of the city of Del City, Oklahoma, chapter 11, article 4, division 2, impoundment of vehicles, section 11-182. Authorization of the police department added to the title to include for towing and citing vehicles, establishing that unlawfully attended vehicles in certain circumstances may be towed and issued citations, amending from 3 days, 72 hours to 48 hours to include time observed by officers for abandoned and derelict vehicles, adding other circumstances when a vehicle may be towed and cited to include when a person driving or in control of the vehicle is arrested and an officer is required by law to take a person before a proper magistrate without unnecessary delay. At the scene of an accident, if the owner or driver is not in a position to take charge of the vehicle and direct or request its proper removal, when an officer has probable cause that the person operating the vehicle has not been granted driving privileges or privileges are currently suspended, revoked, canceled, denied, or disqualified. When an officer has probable cause that a vehicle is not insured as required by compulsory insurance law. When a vehicle is involved in a fatal motor collision and the vehicle is needed for evidentiary purposes. Declaring repealer, providing severability, authorize mayor to endorse same and direct staff accordingly. We'll do the emergency clause next. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 1414. Amending an ordinance in the code of the city of Del City, Oklahoma, chapter 11, article 4, division 2, impounded vehicles, section 11-182, authorization of police department, adding to the title to include for towing and citing vehicles, establishing that unlawfully unattended vehicles in certain circumstances may be towed and issued citations, amending from 3 days, 72 hours to 48 hours to include time observed by officers for abandonment and derelict vehicles, adding other circumstances when a vehicle may be towed and cited to include when a person driving or in control of the vehicle is arrested and an officer is required by law to take a person before a proper magistrate without unnecessary delay. At the scene of an accident, and if an owner or driver is not in a position to take charge of the vehicle and direct or request its proper removal, when an officer has probable cause that the person operating the vehicle has not been granted driving privileges or privileges are currently suspended, revoked, canceled, denied, or disqualified. When an officer has probable cause that the vehicle is not insured and as required by compulsory insurance law. When the vehicle is involved in a fatal motor vehicle collision and the vehicle is in need for evidentiary purposes. Declaring repealer, providing severability, authorizing mayor to endorse the city.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Yes, sir. Step to the podium, state your name for the clerk, please.
43 West Thomas Drive. the part that says whether you have your insurance is updated, what if they don't have, say, their car?
Don't they want?
If they have to print out their insurance to verify that they have insurance,
I believe that's accessible by computer.
well, not for people like me.
Oh,
But, will their car automatically be towed away, or is it gonna be parked beside the road, and they can come pick it up the next day if they have, get their insurance verification?
the primary purpose for this is we've had an instance, actually, we've had several instances where a car has broken down in a major intersection and the driver just walked away and left it. And am I correct in that the police didn't have the authority to tow it immediately?
In that circumstance, because of the traffic hazard, yes, and now everything with insurance is able to be verified. You should always have a copy of the paper in your driver's, the paper copy in your vehicle as well as in your wallet. But the police do have the ability to run the tag and get insurance confirmed as well.
Yeah, it's all on the computer, so even if you don't have it, as long as you actually possess insurance, they'll be able to verify it. We're not backing up from you need to carry a verification, but they're able to ascertain whether or not you have insurance on the car. So I don't think that is what we're looking to change here. There's no real change in that law. We're complying with the state law in that. The main thing that this is going to change is if somebody's car breaks down in the middle of 29th and Sunny Lane and they walk away from it, the police now have the authority to remove it from being a traffic impediment. That's the intent of what we're doing.
Myself, I wouldn't want somebody's car to be towed away just because they didn't have verification. I know it's against the law to not have that with you, but that seems pretty harsh and expensive for someone to have the car towed just for us.
I don't think this is intended for the paper copy of the verification. This is intended for a vehicle that's been abandoned, or if someone, if there's a utility accident, they need to hold the car for evidence. That's the intent.
Additionally, Mayor, what your worry is that you have the insurance, you just don't have the car. That happens to me a lot.
Right.
But what our lawyers say, and the police have, they just run your tag. It's all on the state computer system.
It's a text.
So whenever they run your tag, that's why the license plate readers can read it, and they'll pull you over for not having insurance. It's the same thing. So if they find out that you don't have insurance and drive an uninsured car, then they go
And that's actually state law right now. I mean, we're not adding anything, we're not making any harsher. The main thing that this is going to do is it's going to give the police the authority to either remove a vehicle that's causing a traffic problem immediately instead of waiting 48 hours. We don't have to leave it sitting in the middle of Sunny Lane, 29th Street for 48 hours before we can do it. This gives them the tool to get the car out of the way immediately. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, I understand that. I agree with all of it except that part.
I understand.
Somebody.
That's a state law.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lord. Any other discussion? Let's take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Aye. Councilman Dean. Aye. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Moon.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. Oh, you're right. Thank you for that. I forgot to declare an emergency. Further, to declare an emergency, we make the declaration that this is an emergency and it will go into effect immediately. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we declare this an emergency.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Aye. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Aye. Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. We're going to item number 13, ordinance to amend city code relating to Park and Recreational Commission to become the Park and Beautification Commission. Discussion, consideration, possible action, approve or deny ordinance number 1415. It's Exhibit E to the council agenda, amending an ordinance in the code of the city of Dale City, Article 2, Chapter 14, Park and Recreation Commission, changing the name of the commission to Park and Beautification Commission throughout the entire article. Commissioners are selected at large, no longer ward specific. They shall meet at least quarterly, keep minutes of their meetings, and submit minutes to the city clerk. They will no longer make recommendations to the operation of city parks and recreational facilities and programs, nor recommend rules and regulations to the city council. As city staff will now handle these functions. Members of the community may be allowed to volunteer on projects under the direction of the commission, declaring repealer, providing severability, authorize mayor to endorse same and direct staff accordingly. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we discuss this. Make a motion for discussion.
Second. We have a motion to discuss only. Any discussion on the discussion? Take your vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Gandy. Councilman Mooney.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. We are now in discussion only. Let's open the discussion. This was, JD's not here tonight. Who is representing JD? You? Who's here?
In his office.
I think he might be here. Let's get some staff on hand before we open this.
Mike's on.
The mic's on. Okay.
Sorry, I was hiding from the fire department. Yeah.
I don't blame you. JD, we are opening for discussion. Item number 13, the ordinance to amend the city code related to Park and Recreation Commission. This is ordinance number 1415. Would you comment on why we are doing this? And then we're going to have some questions. I believe Councilman Dean and Councilman Gandy have questions about this.
Absolutely. So, our Parks and Recreation Commission, as it currently stands, has disbanded as of about 6 months ago. And the reason for it is there were a couple of reasons, but the biggest thing is, according to the ordinance, their job is to only provide information on parks and recreation as it stands. And now we actually have staff. So under Brittany Garrett, we now have a full-time recreation coordinator. I think that's his title. Boss, I'm going to shake his head. So now that we have someone that can work on the parks and recreation specific, the commission needed a new goal. So in addition to the park situation, we have requested adding the beautification committee into that. The beautification committee has been around for a number of years. However, they were never codified in ordinance. So while you all did have that as a subsection of a committee, this was a way to bring both of them together. So the Parks Division would still be able to speak, and they could work on beautifying the parks, putting in new items, coming up with things that we need. This will also be very beneficial during our comprehensive plan. Whenever we do go over the parks situation with them, we actually have a committee that can be dedicated to that. So it's kind of a merger of the two. And the other section specific on this ordinance is we have never been able to officially allow volunteers onto this committee. So while there are only 5 members of the committee, they can have an unlimited number of volunteers working with them, working in a city sanctioned situation.
This also solves the overlap problem that we had with the 2 different organizations.
Yes, sir.
There was overlap between the parks and the beautification. This solves it. This is one commission. Do you have comments?
Yes, so the concern is that we used to have an organization or a committee that was in charge of the parks, and they're not in charge of the parks. They're in charge of coming up with what they'd like to do in the parks, such as, put in a playground slide of where to put the new equipment. And then to suggest that to the city. They don't have the authority to buy it, they don't have the authority to put it in, they don't have the authority to do anything else, but they are a citizen group to go and make a suggestion about the park. Additionally, as far as recreation side is we have the swimming pool, and just finish up my next term, so it's got reauthorized the city council. But whenever I first started it, I go, it seems silly that we closed the swimming pool on August 1st before the hottest time of the year. So I thought I'd come do it. What we're now doing is we're taking away from the city personnel who is actually not city personnel, but committee. Anybody who actually cared enough to wonder about these things, the ability to make the recommendation to have full lawn. And so, and we're leaving all of this only up to the employees that we happen to have. So luckily we got 2 nice employees, but now everything basically rests upon them and the city manager. Well, now before time we couldn't go, the Parks and Recreation Committee could go and say that this is kind of silly too, that we should leave the pool open, but they were not authorized to go and tell them to leave it open. So what I'm suggesting is that we leave this committee with the ability to make recommendations.
You're discounting the fact that we have an open mic before every meeting. Anybody that wants to comment on the pool hours can do so as a non-agenda item at any meeting. So that's not really true that there's no venue for that. There's a venue at every meeting.
There's a venue, but however, the Parks and Recreation guy who did this, which is happens to be CJ's down there, he's not here. He doesn't even get to know what the public's doing, and if Mike doesn't like it, the city manager, he doesn't tell them. And nobody gets this information down to him, and he doesn't announce. All I'm suggesting is that if we have citizens that care enough, like we do, to take care of the flower beds, to take care of different things, if they happen to, and that committee happens to have an idea about a park or about a recreation facility, that they would just be able to make that recommendations like they currently in the other committee did. So we're narrowing the committees to 2, we're going to take the 2 committees to 1. Oh, they don't have to make a recommendation about the park. So if they want to keep just doing the flower gardens, that's fine. But why would we take away the ability from our citizens and the people amongst our citizens? Because you're right, they can come to the bar and say it. Instead of taking away the ability for the people who volunteer to go and do that, why don't we just leave that recommendation ability?
This says park and beautification. And the word park is in on the commission, and that doesn't stop them. Just because the word recreation isn't in the title, that doesn't stop them from making a recommendation. Anything pertaining to the park, they can still make that recommendation. This doesn't exclude anything.
That's why, if I read it that way, that's why we all have. But it specifically says they will no longer make recommendations to the operation of city parks, recreation facilities, and programs, nor recommend rules or regulations to the city council, as city staff will not handle these functions. We're giving every last power of the Parks and Recreation to the city manager and his staff, with us as the oversight. And I would just like to have the people who want to volunteer to still be able to make recommendations.
So Michael, I've been to almost every park cleanup, every garden cleanup in the last 10 years. And there's very few volunteers. There's very few people that want to get out there and do it. I did find out that it was a video on social media and play after on social media. A few extra people come. But it's usually the 5 people for beautification that show up and a couple of volunteers. I've never ever seen one park and rec person out there helping us clean the garden.
Right, that's not the point. The point is now your 5 people are in charge, would have the ability, that you're taking away the 2 committees, and now we make 1. That 1 committee now just kind of assumes that they do have parks and they have recs and they also have flower gardens. Beautification. That's basically what we should be having. There's no reason to get rid of that other one altogether. All we have to do is allow for them to be able to make recommendations. Because if not, which committee would be able to have?
May I interject?
Go ahead.
It says under 14-20B, it shall also make recommendations to the city council with reference to the safety of the public in general, in enjoying
and using the parks and rec facilities as deemed necessary. The Park and Beautification Commission shall make recommendations as it seems appropriate for the overall enjoyment of the parks and rec facilities in the city, and they will consult with others in the community. So I think it's already in there. We were trying to condense in regards to the title. That's why we have it as to the exhibits of this. But they are still going to be allowed to make recommendations under 14, 20 sub B.
So if you look at the history of the Parks and Recreation Commission, they have never submitted anything to the recreation side. Every event that has come about in the last 5 years has come from either elected officials or staff. The trunk or treat, that didn't come through Parks and Recreation. The Easter egg hunt, that didn't come through Parks and Recreation. That was brought to us by a citizen who just suggested it, and staff worked on it. Everything that has happened through other venues than Parks and Recreation. So it's not been utilized in the past. And again, we're not taking away anybody's right to suggest or to ask or to recommend any recreational activity. We're all open to that. And that's why we're here as council people to represent the public. Your constituents can call you and say, Michael, I'd like to see a tennis court. That's still a perfectly acceptable venue. We're not closing any channels. What we're doing is trying to focus the intent of that commission to beautification and parks, because that's what they do. That's where they do.
Comments, again, this is, they will no longer, but JD, would you say that Ms. Palmer's reading of 14.2 should allow them to make recommendations if they decide to?
Yes, the biggest concern I had whenever I rewrote the ordinance was I removed the ability for them to do anything with recreational programs, because recreational programs require staff time. So that was the only thing I truly struck out. If they would like to still speak on recreational activities, she's documented that there. The only thing that we specifically should have struck out was any recreational program wise, because that would require staff time, budgeting, and city manager's approval, that kind of thing.
But again, they don't approve. So again, going back to the pool, they can't go and say they can't direct any employee just like we can't direct any employee. We're not city, we have no authority except for Mike, and that's here, and no other committee has any authority at all besides to make the recommendations to us to fine.
I think I understand where Michael Dean is coming from. We're basically just explicitly saying that we're not going to take recommendations from a specific set of people. That's not the case for the ordinance, but in this motion that we're going to be making here for this agenda item, we are saying that we're going to no longer make recommendations to the operation of the city parks, recreational facilities, or programs, where it just sounds like we're trying to be exclusionary here. I don't necessarily think that
That's not the intent.
Right, I don't think it's the intent. I understand that that's not the intent. I think that it's just the wording in the agenda item specifically that is giving them pause.
And if we want to change, they can approve with modification, can't they? Since it's an ordinance, they can draft it however they design.
We could go back and redraft the ordinance, but we could change the motion to include, I think what we restricted was where the staff is doing things that they're not going to direct the staff as you suggested. I don't think we can change the ordinance. We can put it on hold, table it, and come back if there's changes. But I think if you read the language of the ordinance under 1420B, it allows for recommendations. We were just trying to be transparent. We were taking out stuff and allowing that. And perhaps we could just maybe add a second sentence to the motion saying that they will still accept recommendations from the Parks and Beautification Committee for running of the park.
We don't specify any place the types of recommendations that we take, because we are open to hearing all recommendations. If Tony wanted his street painted pink and he came up here and said, I recommend that my street be painted pink, we still hear it. That doesn't mean we act on it, but we still hear it. You still can make recommendations. This is not exclusive. This is just defining the Parks and Beautification Committee as really, we're making it more beautification than we are scheduling Easter egg hunts and scheduling trunk or treats. That's completely and entirely handled by the staff right now. We're not doing anything different. All we're doing is spelling it out. And anybody that wants to make a recommendation for any event is certainly welcome. We have at the beginning of every meeting, we have non-agenda items that any citizen can speak to in subject. That's wonderful. So we're not excluding anything. What we're doing is honing the focus of this group.
I think that our council's working on it to answer my concern. I think we're really good.
So you want to take a list, you want to make a motion?
No,
Good.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve. But I make a motion. Move forward. Good. Voting.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 1415 as written, authorizing the mayor to endorse same and direct.
Second.
And the second, is there any discussion? Finch. Councilman Dean. Councilman Moody. Andy. Mayor votes aye, the motion carries. Now we are going to declare or deny an emergency. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to declare an emergency.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Gandy. Councilman Moody.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Mayor votes aye, the motion carries. Move on to item number 14, Board Map 2022 adoption. Discussion, consideration, possible action, approve or deny re-adopting the 2012 Ward Map to serve as the 2022 Ward Map for the City Council presentation, as the 2012 Ward Map is still an accurate representation of the population of the city. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we approve re-adopting the 2012 ward map to serve as the 2022 ward map.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Gandy. Councilman Moody.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Mayor votes aye, the motion carries. Item number 15 is further council input.
Make a motion, we adjourn to the CEA.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Actually, I'd like to amend my motion to adjourn to the DCMSA.
Thank you. Like we're going to skip.
Second.
Okay. Councilman Gandy.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean. Councilman Moody.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. We are now adjourned from the city council and moving to DCMSA. Way back there. Call to order the DC of the Dale City Municipal Services Authority for December 19th, 2022. Melissa, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Gandy.
Here.
Trustee Moody. Here. Trustee Finch. Here. Trustee Dean.
Here.
Chairman Easley.
There is here. Is there any public that would like to speak to the DCMSA on non-agenda items? Yes, sir. The lights. Never use them on your face. We're on the air. Yes, sir. We have to stay on the agenda. Sorry. Thanks for coming in. Congratulations on the win. Let's move on to public and trustee input. Is there anybody from the public that would like to address the Dale City Municipal Services on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, any trustees? Seeing none, manager's report.
Nothing to stop.
Item number 5 is minutes, discussion and consideration, possible action to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the DCMSA for December 5th, 2022. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Take the vote, count, trustee Gandy. Aye. Trustee Dean. Aye. Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Trustee Newman.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries. Item number 6 is termination of water tank maintenance control, Howard Street. Discussion, consideration, possible action, approve or deny termination of the multi-year contract with Utility Service Company Incorporated, RFP number 1512, that has been providing water tank maintenance for Howard Street, which was established in December 2014. Authorize chair, vice chair, and secretary to endorse as required by the maintenance contract. Direct staff accordingly. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as written. Authorize chair, vice chair, and secretary to endorse. Direct staff accordingly.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Trustee Finch. Trustee Gandy. Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Trustee Dean. Chair votes aye, the motion carries. Item number 7 is land purchase, 5200 Reno Avenue. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve or deny the purchase of real property located at 5200 East Reno Avenue, Del City, Oklahoma, 73115, for an amount not to exceed $42,500. The property provides direct access to the DCMSA water tower on Reno Avenue. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the purchase of real property located at 5200 East Reno Avenue, not to exceed $42,500.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? JD's not here. City manager, would you like to elaborate on why we're buying this property?
Directly to the north of the elevated tower there on Greenlawn Howard, there is a small piece of property, an easement road that goes back to this water tower. The property is currently owned by the people that own the cell phone tower that was erected there a few years back. If we ever have maintenance where we actually go in and have to do some work on the tank or the pump that pumps up to the tower, this would give us a place where we can store the equipment for construction. Without it, we'll have to stay inside our little fenced area. But we would not be on our property.
Okay, any questions?
This also just ensures that we have access to the tower, perpetual access.
We do have the road.
Yes,
we have the easement,
But
but
It gives us a staging area.
It's basically the staging area.
It's a staging area. Any further comments?
and it gives us control of what's in front of that.
Right. The easement could become an issue at some point, so it's just, it's more access.
Yes. A safeguard, if you will.
All done. Let's take the vote. Trustee Gandy.
Aye.
Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Trustee Dean.
Aye.
Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Motion carries. Any further trust input?
Make a motion, we adjourn to DCEDA.
Second.
Let me, amend that motion.
Hold on, municipal retirement.
Yeah. OMR.
I'll make my second.
So we're going to OMRF, right? And you second?
Yes.
All right. Any discussion? Take the vote. Trustee Gandy. Trustee Finch. Trustee Dean. Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are now adjourned to OMRF.
And just to be clear, we don't have DCEDA tonight.
Maybe you should just say these.
I just made it up to Michael Dean.
I thought you were just,
I read OMRF and I said DCEDA still, so.
okay. Call to order the Oklahoma Municipal Retirement Fund regular meeting for December 19th,
2022. Melissa, would you call the roll, please?
Trustee Gandy.
Here.
Trustee Grant.
Here,
Trustee Finch. Trustee King.
Here.
Chairman Nelson.
Chairman is here. Is there any public input? Seeing none. Any trustee input? Seeing none. Move on to the minutes. Item number 4 is discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the OMRF of May 16th, 2022. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve this resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Trustee Dean.
Aye.
Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Trustee Gandy. Aye. Chair votes aye. The motion carries. Item number 5 is a retirement application for Robin Hurd. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve city employee Robin Hurd receiving a normal retirement from the Oklahoma Municipal Retirement Fund per request from the employee. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the retirement, the normal retirement of municipal retirement fund for Robin Hurd.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Trustee Dean. Aye. Trustee Gandy. Aye. Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Chairman votes aye. The motion carries. Item number 6 is retirement application for Jennifer Williamson. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve city employee Jennifer Williamson receiving a normal retirement from the Oklahoma Municipal Retirement Fund per request from the employee. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the city employee Jennifer J.J. Williamson to receive a normal retirement from the Oklahoma Municipal Retirement Fund.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Trustee Gandy. Aye. Trustee Mooney.
Aye.
Trustee Dean. Aye. Chair votes aye. The motion carries. Any further committee input?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. You got that.
Oh, it's tough.
I'll give it. We have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? She's more good reading than you. Trustee Dean. Aye. Trustee Finch.
Aye.
Trustee Mooney.
aye.
Trustee Gandy. Aye. Chair votes aye. We are now adjourned.
Sure we don't have to go to the
He's trying to get us there.
I swear, I read OMR at least 3 times, and I kept saying easy.
That's okay. I have to use like that.